Welcome back to a new season of the All Four Downs NFL picks. I'm with Hector V and myself, Ovi and this week it is officially week one of the National Football League, and everything starts Thursday, September 5th, between the Baltimore Ravens visiting the Kansas City Chiefs, or shall I say, the defending champions, the two-time Kansas City Chiefs.
Yes,
That's right,
sir.
back to back. And did you know that if Kansas City Chiefs win this year's Super Bowl, they will be the first team in the NFL to three-peat?
You know what? Put me on board. I'm ready for it.
I'm
Why
ready
not?
for some history.
You know,
Yes. It's
because it
always
seems
like you got those twos minus one, and then you win that extra, Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Like the 49ers did it, the Dallas Cowboys, the
mhm.
New England Patriots. I'm sure probably the Pittsburgh Steelers did that. I'm not sure.
Well, the
But
Pittsburgh did it. They're the only team to do it 4 times in 5 years.
oh,
The
winning it
Steelers.
back to back and then skip and then back to back, right?
Yeah, back in the 70s. Yeah, yeah.
Right, that's right. With Terry Bradshaw,
Yes.
So but this would be unique because then you could erase all those legendary teams that people love to talk about,
Right.
and put Kansas City Chiefs as the number one team in NFL history to be defined as the only ones to go three in a row. I like it. I love the odds to that.
I do too, because Buffalo, even though they're on the wrong side of history, but they've shown that they defied the odds and went to 4 straight Super Bowls. No team has ever done that. No matter, let's just overlook the fact that they lost it. They're the only team to go 4 in a row. So, in order for Kansas City to do that feat, they got to get to the Super Bowl this year, win or lose. They got to get there. But for them to win it, that would be something that we can never honestly say we've never seen before, unless you're playing Madden on your PlayStation, Xbox, or whatever.
Right. Exactly. Unless you put it in an easy mode. And
Yeah.
yeah, they didn't do that. But anyways, we're moving on. But in order for Kansas City Chiefs to go back to the Super Bowl, they do have some kryptonite. And what I'm saying is that there is the Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow is back. Okay. He's not, last year he suffered a season loss injury, and he should be fine moving into this season. Hopefully that offensive line can protect him, but they're also dealing with financial stuff, right? Trying to keep all the pieces together to make another run for the Super Bowl. And remember, Cincinnati made it to the Super Bowl unprecedentedly. No one's ever thought of them going, and they took care of the Kansas City Chiefs. And for some odd reason, the Bengals do play well in Kansas City.
Yes, they do. That's their Achilles heels right there. When you got a healthy Bengal team, as we're seeing right now in week one, yeah, for real, that could be that team that could put a stop to the Kansas City Chiefs. I agree.
Oh man, you know what? I just want to briefly, before we get started with our NFL picks and stuff, just remind you that they do visit Kansas City on week 2, and that's going to be spectacular.
Speaking of which, I didn't interrupt you.
Mm-hmm.
Cincinnati, they did stop Kansas City from doing a monumental NFL history, as far as Super Bowls. Kansas City has won the 4 Super Bowls in 5 years. The one that did stop them was the Bengals.
Mm-hmm.
Had the Chiefs won that game, the AFC Championship game against the Bengals, we would have been talking about the Chiefs going to 5 consecutive Super Bowls.
Well, let's do this. You ready? Mahomes is Brady, and Joe Burrow is who?
Montana? No, not Montana. Oh, Peyton Manning. Thinking of Peyton Manning? No.
Eli Manning, man.
No,
What are you talking about?
Said Peyton.
Eli Manning beat Brady twice.
Yeah.
Right? So even though both teams are in the same conference, right, the AFC, what if Joe Burrow blocks Mahomes from going back to the Super Bowl?
Well, I can see that, because ever since Tom Brady had left the New England Patriots and went to Tampa Bay, it's all been Patrick Mahomes, except for that 1 year, which was Burrow. You see, so there's no quarterback that can actually match Mahomes quarterback for quarterback except Joe Burrow when he's healthy. You see, because when he wasn't, whatever ailments that they had, the Chiefs took advantage, or the other team like Buffalo took advantage of it, knocked them out, and then ran into a juggernaut of the Kansas City Chiefs. I
Mm-hmm.
mean,
Tom Brady did. Tom Brady did stop Mahomes in the Super Bowl.
Yes, he did.
Mm-hmm. So
But
it's almost like he was still in the AFC. That's like
yeah,
that's
in a
crazy.
way. But once he left the
However, yeah,
AFC, it seems to be Mahomes. That's his era now. It's his conference. You
right.
know, so
I say there's still a dynasty team with Mahomes and Coach Reed side by side because they've done wonders. The
yeah,
thing is that will the rest, not only the division, because you got the Raiders, you got the Chargers and the Broncos, right? But throughout the whole entire AFC, will they be elevated to stop the Kansas City Chiefs? And it seems like they get rid of top talent just to bring more talent that's unknown and still make things happen. That's what's so unique about the Chiefs.
yeah. And until one of these teams in the West, excuse me, you know, figure out a plan, Kansas City is going to wipe the floor with that division.
So
You
you're
know,
saying, I guess we're both already in agreement that we may be rooting for the Chiefs in the AFC to go back to the Super Bowl.
it,
On the other side, the NFC. Now that one's a little bit hard for me to grasp, right?
yeah,
If it's a healthy 49ers, they can easily go back to the Super Bowl.
right,
But the biggest story to me is the Detroit Lions. They made a big run. They fell short, but they're hungry, right? And there's a lot of meaning. You're talking about a city that suffered a 0-16 record. They suffered
yeah.
so many losing seasons past Barry Sanders to finally get there. They got the right head coach, they got the staff, they got the big support. Now is piecing it together. And if that defense is better than last year, I could see Detroit. We'll be talking about Detroit versus Kansas City.
I'm hoping this wasn't a fluke last year because Detroit, they had all the tools. They should have beaten San Francisco in the NFC Championship game. They should have beaten the Cowboys in the regular season to even clinch a top spot. Putting home field advantage throughout the playoffs in Detroit. There's a lot of things that was fell short for the Lions last year, and they were just the fan favorites. Everybody was rooting for them. I know I
It's a
was.
good story, man.
It
And
was. It really
it's
was.
still, and if they continue to win and take over the NFC North, it is still a great story.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is. I just hope that we don't see a flop. You know.
Yeah,
Now you can't. You
I
got.
hope not.
You can't. You can't blame injuries. I mean, because injuries happen. We get that. Every team goes through it. And if you have an unsuccessful season because of injuries, I get it. But if you have a healthy staff and you go through the season not playing well, you going away from your game plan, then that's your own fault.
Right.
And
Exactly.
if Detroit just stays with that formula like they did last year, there should be no reason why they should be North champions and maybe Super Bowl NFC champions at that.
I like the NFC narratives because a lot has changed, right? You got Kirk Cousins in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
You got the Saints that's trying to redeem themselves as trying to be the best in the NFC South. The Bucks are trying to defend their division, right? And then you
Yeah.
have the Eagles and the Cowboys. Like which team is going to represent the back-to-back seasons? The Cowboys finished 12-5. Okay. Then like what's going on with the contract issues that's going on with the Cowboys? Is the Eagles with the head coach and Hurts, are they see eye to eye? And does the rest of the team remember the Eagles tanked towards the almost the second half of the season? You know
Yes.
what I mean? And you're unpresidential that you was on top, and then you just consecutive losing games after games after games. I'm just wondering now that they're traveling to Brazil this weekend to play on the Green Bay Packers against a team that showed a lot of light at the end. Like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. Well, now we see love. Now we see why Aaron Rodgers no longer with the Packers. We're seeing the next phenomena that's going to happen in the next decade for the Packers.
Yeah.
There's some questionable things going on, right? And then is the Rams back, right? Like, are they going to make that final run, or we're going to continue hearing the Rams head coach being like, okay, I'm going to step aside now and maybe go to TV? Oh, like, there's just so much going on narrative for the NFC more than the AFC, but I'm liking it. And one other team before we move on, one more minute, the Houston Texans. Surprisingly, because of the Jacksonville Jaguars slump,
Mm,
allowed the Houston Texans to go ahead and take over, and they were very impressive in the playoffs.
big time. I didn't expect Houston to get as far as they did, but they sure did what they had to do. And,
Mhm.
getting to that second round, I could see them actually making a push to the AFC Championship game.
Oh man, this is just so much. But then again, this is only week one of the
Yeah.
NFL, and it's the hardest picks that anyone can make because not everyone is fresh, not everyone is in sync. Very, very little did we see starters play in the preseason.
Hmm.
Not that it matters anyway. And we see it in college football, but that's another story. That's one of the reasons why these top college football teams go against these other, I want to say they're FBS, I think, or there's another name for them. Like, they're not in the powerhouse, so they just pay them money just to play because week one really is a warm up, unless
Yeah.
you're Florida State, and then that's a
Oh,
different
Lord have
story.
mercy. Yeah.
Yeah.
They got stung by a yellow jacket.
Hey, but in defense, Yellow Jackets are 2-0.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, like, they're showing a lot of light with a new heck. Well, he's not new, but he's been there for a couple of years, turning, how you say it, turning the what was so much negative into a positive. Could we see that in the NFL? Could we see new teams start a winning streak and turn things around and see new teams, maybe more in the history? Because there's a few teams in the NFL they haven't reached the Super Bowl yet, won a Super Bowl. Could we
Yeah.
see that happen this year?
Yeah.
Everyone's focused on the Chiefs, but could there be someone else?
You're
It's All
absolutely right.
Four Downs podcast presented by CMG Sports Central. Visit cmgsportscentral.com for the latest podcast of your favorite major sports. And we'll continue on with our very first pick of week one. And it's happening Thursday. Baltimore Ravens visiting the Kansas City Chiefs. Celebration banner, all that celebration. Yay, yay, yay. Would it be over their heads? Would the Ravens take advantage of it? Are they hungry? Or is it just the week one stagnant and we're going to see the Chiefs win? What's your take on this, Hector?
You got to think that the Chiefs are going to be pumped up. They're at home celebrating another Super Bowl victory. They got the crowd behind them. Look, last year when they lost the opener to Detroit, they had a couple of injuries. I'm not hearing anything about no injuries at this point. Sounds like a healthy team is coming into this game at home. I just see that they have the momentum going to this game. I feel like the Chiefs offense has a little more pop going into this. It just, to me, is going to continue where they left off between these two last year, with the Chiefs winning this game over the Baltimore Ravens.
Before I make my announcement, let me go ahead and pull up my picks so I don't have any confusion whatsoever. I did a lot of boo-boo last year. You're picking the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yes, sir.
And so am I. I'm picking the Chiefs. Very, very rare do you see the Chiefs lose a opener, and they've been impressive since Mahomes has been the starting quarterback.
Yeah.
So my take is the Chiefs win it. I hope it's a great entertainment, not a blowout, but
Right.
I'm digging it. The Ravens got a new running back that came from the Titans. He is the bulldozer guy. You know who I'm talking about.
The bulldozer.
Oh, you don't know? You don't know his name? I'm gonna
That
tell you his name. Let me pull it up, man, because I'm messing up right now. I had it in the tip of my tongue, and oh my god, how can I forget? More to follow on this one, man.
It's
But
the week one jitters.
yeah, the week one jitters, absolutely. Let me look at the depth charts of the Baltimore Ravens, and yes, Derrick Henry is the running back for the Baltimore Ravens. I'm curious to see how well they use him. Remember, they got Rashad Bateman as
Yeah.
a star wide receiver. Lamar Jackson's on the snap. Hopefully he stays healthy this season. And could the Ravens do better on defense? You know what I'm saying? But Mahomes in the preseason was doing a lot of tricks. He's very playful.
Yeah.
Hopefully that doesn't bite him in the ass. But for now, yeah, I'm all in for the Kansas City. Let's move on to Brazil. The colors of the Green Bay Packers. That's what the fans are going to go for, right? They're going to see their colors on the Green Bay
Mhm.
Packers. They might think it's their soccer team playing right now, all
Oh
right? But
Lord.
however, the Packers are the visiting team versus the Philadelphia Eagles, and it's pretty unique, right? To be able to play in another country and stuff. But which team is going to be more effective on this? Okay, because we've seen it how NFL teams travel to a different country and they're not climatized. So are they going to be able to to play like they do at home? Can the Eagles do it? And they got Saquon Barkley there, right? But Jordan Love has been very impressive and everything else. I don't know, man. I'm actually going for Green Bay Packers in this game.
Are you? Okay. Look, I mean, you can't knock Jordan Love. You know, he had great momentum last year, especially in that wild card game. It's like he couldn't do anything wrong against them Cowboys in that wild card game. Getting to that second round against San Francisco, he started doing his thing, but they only played one half of that game while the 49ers played four quarters. Philadelphia, I don't know what the issue was last year. They just literally just gave up the season at the end, even limping into the playoffs. They lose that wild card game to Tampa Bay. That was just horrible and just laughable. I don't really see them doing too much with Saquon. I mean, I'm not trying to hate on it. You got Saquon. Congratulations. Maybe you could do something better than the Giants did with him, but I think Philadelphia is gonna win this game. I think they're gonna restore their explosiveness on offense. I think Kellen Moore will probably get that offense going for this game, and Jalen Hurts may just do a little bit more than Jordan Love in this game. So I'm taking the Eagles to win this game.
Okay.
So
All right.
I mean, they do got a
Hey,
little bit. They do got a little bit of green in them too. So
yeah, but it's all about the yellow. It's
yeah,
all about the yellow.
green and yellow, green and yellow.
Green and yellow. There you go. All right, moving on to our next one, afternoon game Sunday. The Minnesota Vikings go to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Giants. I don't know what to say about the New York Giants. I really don't. They do have a star wide receiver from LSU. Um, However, is Daniel Jones. This is all pointing at his direction. I am not a fan of Daniel Jones. I am not. I am disappointed that they were able to give him a contract over Saquon Barkley. Uh, I don't know what you're going to get out of this guy week by week, and if he starts turning over the ball, or if that ball doesn't push, like these 3-and-outs, it's got to go. I'm telling you that right now. Okay. On the other side, you got Minnesota Vikings, right? Sam Darnold is a starting quarterback. And the last time Sam Darnold actually started, he lost to the Giants. But then again, Carolina. Yeah, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, we don't know what's happening in this game. That's why the game is favored the Vikings -1. So
Yeah,
it's more of a pick 'em game. I'm gonna stay safe and say, because it's at MetLife Stadium, I actually going for the New York Giants. And
see,
it hurts me because I'm not really confident.
yeah, I'm not confident in the Giants winning this game. Look, I'm going to tell you right now. I did a little digging into it. In the last 10 seasons, the opening game, week one, the Giants are 2-8 in the last 10 seasons. That is horrible. They can't seem to win week one to save their lives. If you had a gun to their head, I don't know what it is.
However, head to head between the Vikings and the Giants never lost a game in the month of September versus the Vikings.
Yeah, but I mean, are we really confident that Daniel Jones is going to outshine Sam Darnold in this situation?
I don't even know if Sam Darnold could outshine himself.
I get it. I get
But
it.
these
But
are two quarterbacks that's very questionable. And I don't care what the media says. If
yeah,
Sam Darnold was the bomb, if he was so spectacular, then why the hell is he bouncing around to almost 3 different teams?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like Baker Mayfield. He's not an elite quarterback. You know what I mean?
But he
So,
still can get the job done.
well, can these both these quarterbacks get the job done?
I think it's going to come down to whatever defense is going to be able to show up,
Who
and for
has a
some reason,
better running game? But then again, you have Jefferson, who's always owned the secondary of the New York Giants,
right,
right?
right.
But
And
then again, Sam Darnold, is he that great?
all they got to do,
Would he be worthy enough from when he first came to the NFL? I think, if I'm not mistaken, did he not go to the Jets?
yeah, yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, then again, that was the Jets. Never
All they
mind.
got to do is just get that ball up in the air to Jefferson, and it may just be over with.
So
I'm
who you
just,
got?
I'm taking the Vikings. I'm sorry, the Giants just not showing me anything when it comes to opening games in week 1. They just can't seem to get out their own way. I have not seen no consistency out of my own team. So, you want to prove me wrong? Then start on Sunday by beating the Vikings. But until then, I'm taking the Vikings to win this game.
All right. Well, let's go. Let's move on to the Steelers versus the Falcons.
I'm telling you, look, I just got to say this. This game will always be embedded in my head between you and me several years ago.
Oh, is that so?
Yes. I mean, this was back in the military days when we were still doing picks on paper.
That means I won. I know.
No.
Yeah.
This game, we argued about this game, and the game ended in a tie.
Oh, no, is that so?
Yes. And that's why I'm like, this game will always be embedded in my head when these two play each other. It's like we argued so hard, tooth and nail, about. I mean, we had so much good stuff to say, and yet they proved us wrong because they couldn't even win the game. Either team could win the game.
Well, to add to that note, there's a lot of similarities already between the Steelers and the Falcons.
Right.
The Steelers have Russell Wilson as their starting quarterback.
Yes.
The Falcons has Kirk Cousins as the starting quarterback for the Falcons. Did I say that right? No, let me rephrase that. The Steelers have Russell Wilson. The Falcons have Kirk Cousins.
Yes.
However, the Falcons have a new head coach, Raheem Morris, who used to be the head coach of the Falcons. Now he returns. Coincidentally, how that happened, right? And what else is that play?
Well,
do
also
the Falcons have defense? Because the Steelers are known for their defense, but can both these teams able to push that ball? Can they get their first downs? Can they get those third downs? Can they make completions? Those are the things that we're not sure of. And yeah, the Steelers, Mike Tomlin being like the only coach. Actually, he is the only coach that's never had a losing season.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you got the Falcons just they came close to winning, but fell short. And the NFC South sucks anyway. So, what are we going to get in this game?
I'm looking at the Steelers offense. I mean, they got a new offensive coordinator, which is Arthur Smith, who was with Atlanta.
But he got fired.
I know. But hey, you never know. He can turn that offense around with Russell Wilson. So,
but damn, he couldn't even turn himself around in Denver.
Hey, that was Denver. We're not talking about the past. That we're going to leave Denver in Denver.
But I mean, listen. All the negativity that happened when he left Seattle, to where he didn't even produce in Denver. All of a sudden, now he's with the Steelers, and then on top of that, you have the backup quarterback who came from the Chicago Bears and Justin Fields. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I think the Steelers defense is going to show up in this game. I think their pass rush, I think their rushing attack is going. They think they're just going to have enough defensive power behind TJ Watt to take down the Falcons in Atlanta. I think they're in Atlanta, right? They're in Atlanta, yeah.
They're in Atlanta, yes.
Yeah.
So, which was the same spot where the Georgia Bulldogs from college football manhandled the Clemson Tigers.
Okay, well, we're not going to have the Falcons manhandling the Steelers. No, give me the Steelers.
Outstanding. All right, we're both even on that because I actually did pick the Pittsburgh Steelers to win this game.
Sweet.
The Cardinals travel to Buffalo to take on the Bills. Now, Josh Allen, okay, he's without Stephon Diggs. He does have some weapons in the wide receiver core there. But it's almost seemed like Buffalo is a one-man show. And
Right.
you're not going to go anywhere with just Josh Allen doing everything. And sooner or later, all that's going to catch up to Josh Allen. On the other side, Arizona Cardinals, I mean, they got Murray. They got this new rookie. All right.
Yep.
And
Marvin.
I just don't know. Just don't know exactly what Arizona could do this season. I'm going for Buffalo.
Yeah, I'm going to take Buffalo in a squeaker on this one. I think it's going to be a close game. I would like to see what Murray's going to do with Harrison Jr. in this one, if he's going to get
I
him the
don't know.
ball.
The odds have it that it's not going to be that close.
Yeah, it's just week one, though. That's what I'm saying. Murray might outshine, Josh Allen stat wise and still lose the game. Who knows? But I got Buffalo.
All right. I got Buffalo. You got Buffalo. We're moving on to the Tennessee Titans visiting the Chicago Bears.
The Bears. I just like saying that.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure you do. Yeah.
The Bears.
Yeah.
I'm going for the Bears on this one.
Man, why? Why? I too am going for the Chicago Bears. I was hoping you go for the Titans. But hey, this game is going to be a close one. I know the spread's 4.5 in favor of the Bears.
Mm-hmm.
I got it. However, you're talking about Will Levis, who's the starting quarterback. They got a wide receiver core. They got Ridley, Hopkins, and Boyd. I mean, there's a lot of speed on that team. On the other side, add Caleb Williams with speed, right? But then you have Swift as a running back.
Right.
Then you got DJ Moore. Keenan Allen came from the Chargers.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And I'm like saying to myself, uh-oh. First of all, I don't even know why he's not with the Chargers. That was their number one wide receiver.
That was dumb, yeah.
But then again, Harbaugh got that going on over there. That's okay. He won his peoples.
He knows something that we don't. I don't know.
You're right. You're absolutely right. It could be behind the scenes.
Yeah.
We don't know. But what I do know is that the Bears are going to celebrate prematurely for this week one victory.
Yeah, like you said, you just named off a lot of weapons there for the Bears offense. You know what I'm saying? That Caleb Williams can get that ball around. So, I think he gets this win here. And of course, Derrick Henry's not there anymore with Tennessee. So, we'll see how that plays out with their running game.
Saturday, say on the next one, Patriots visiting the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm taking Cincinnati. Bengals will blow out the Patriots.
There's no.
And he's just left speechless right now. Wow. Yeah, you're just speechless. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, you're there now.
I am.
You're not. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, you're back. All right.
Cincinnati.
So you got Cincinnati. I got Cincinnati. We're moving on to the Texans and the Colts. Now, this is very intriguing for me because I think both teams kind of elevated in the offseason to try to represent the AFC South. CJ Stroud come up with a fantastic rookie season. He has mixing running back. Stephon Diggs from Buffalo, now Houston Texan. On the other side, Anthony Richards is expected to be the starter for the Colts, but Jonathan Taylor is also an awesome running back. And they got Michael Pittman also as a wide receiver. I'm looking at this as a defensive way compared to the coach that was a former 49ers defensive coordinator. I think everything's tight. I love the staff that the Houston Texans have, and that's why I'm picking Houston to win.
Yeah, I got Houston winning this game. I'm liking the fact that we may see a new rival here in this division between Stroud and Richardson. I think this is going to ramp things up between these two. I think these two quarterbacks, second-year quarterbacks, they stay healthy. They're going to make a statement in this South to show that they're the ones that deserve to win this division. And honestly, I think it's going to be it. In my opinion, I think this is going to be the two teams that's going to run this division.
No, I mean, we could argue with the Jacksonville Jaguars because they started hot last year. Did they regroup? I mean, they're like the Philadelphia Eagles. Just saying. But I like it. I really want the Houston Texans to win this division. I really do. Jacksonville Jaguars visiting the Miami Dolphins. We just spoke about the Jacksonville Jaguars. They got Trevor Lawrence there. They have weapons. What happened at the end of the season? I mean, look, they had it locked. I tell you, they had that AFC South locked and they lost it at the very end.
Well,
They
yeah.
cannot do this again, or head coach Doug Peterson's out the window. It just can't happen. But you're going against a team that has probably the number one speed in the NFL.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And that is dangerous at a certain point until I think injuries might catch up to them because they're known for injuries. Okay. But you got Tariq Hill, you got Jalen Waddle, you got Odell Beckham. Okay. And listen, I don't even know if Odell Beckham will be available this weekend because they had him registered as out for now.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's gonna update or not. But supposedly he said that I guess they got this new thing they started a couple of years ago, PUP.
Oh, the pup.
So like
Yeah.
the pup, right?
Yeah.
So maybe he's gonna come towards the second half of the season. But
Mm-hmm.
again, like he's always injured anyway. But there's just a lot of speed in that wide receiver core. Excuse me. I don't think if Jacksonville's defense is going to catch up. I'm taking Miami to win this game.
Yeah, I think Miami's offense will explode in this game. It's last year to me. Jacksonville got them injuries that happened to them, and they didn't know. They failed to adjust to anything. That's why I think they just fell apart. I mean, I just think they should hopefully learn from what they did last year. But this one, I give it to Miami. So, Frank, if you're listening, yeah, we got Miami Dolphins.
Nah, he's
Here we go.
already
Look,
he's
look, see,
smiling.
I give you a
He's
Dolphin.
smiling.
Give you a Dolphin.
Hold on. Let me zoom in real quick on you, man. Go ahead. Ready?
Okay,
Go
let's get a
ahead.
Dolphin.
Wee.
Wee, wee.
Oh, he's gonna hate us. The Panthers versus the Saints. I'm already outright going for the Saints in this game.
I'm going for the Saints too.
Uh-huh. All right, let's move on to the Denver Broncos versus the Seattle Seahawks. All right, I'll lead it off. Okay, no problem. Bo Nix, he is the starting quarterback. He'll be the rookie, and I'm a big fan of Bo Nix. I really am. Um, now that everything's set in stone and he's taking the snaps for the number one team, right? And he's not the backup and stuff like that. I'm not saying number one team I saying within the roster, not within the whole entire NFL. But you're going against Seattle Seahawks. They're already veterans. They're already there, and I trust more Seattle. But
Yeah.
it's also harder because Seattle has a new head coach
Mm-hmm.
that's just taken over, even though the pieces are there after Pete Carroll left. So I'm still a little bit skeptical as to how the Seahawks are going to be run, but everyone's back. It's not like they're losing people.
Right.
So, and a slim margin, I know they got -6 points favored for the Seahawks. I'll be careful because of the fact that Bo Nix he can move. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He's gonna extend plays and stuff like that. I loved him in college. He played for Auburn and Oregon. There's something about this guy that people just are not giving him credit when credit's due. But right now, I'm taking Seattle.
Yeah, I think Seattle's revamped defense is going to get to them. They're going to make them move out that pocket a lot. They're going to make them probably force them to throw that ball a lot. So, yeah, I'll give me the Seahawks on this one.
The Raiders versus the Chargers. Raiders have a new head coach, even though he was interim coach before. But officially, both these teams have new head coaches. But
Right.
the focus is going to be more on Jim Harbaugh and how he left Michigan as the national champion with all the investigations and everything else, banned from college football for a few years. He doesn't really care. He's already getting paid.
Yeah.
And yeah, he can't be there for the opening for the Michigan Wolverines, where all this nonsense going on. But then there's the Raiders. I'm not sure if they have the right quarterback. I think they're still missing that piece for the Raiders. I'm taking the Chargers for the win.
Yeah, I think Justin Herbert coming back from this foot injury is going to help them out. Isn't what's his name, Khalil Mack now over there with the Chargers? Right,
Let me
I
see.
believe
Let me
so.
see. For the
I believe so.
Chargers.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I believe so.
Click, 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 click. Yes, he is. He's the
So
linebacker.
I think that's going to make a difference on defense
And
against
is
that
Joey
Raiders.
Bosa going to be healthy
Yep,
enough to play?
right.
Absolutely. I
So
mean,
yeah,
they got a great front four there, but they also got, they got Quentin Johnston,
hmm
Joshua Palmer. Those are good wide receivers. Will Gus Edwards be good? And they got J.K. Dobbins. Now, I followed J.K. Dobbins in college, and he played for Ohio State. He is awesome. The
yes,
thing is, it's Jim Harbaugh, and running game is got to be top notch. All right, and it puts a lot less pressure for the quarterback. The Raiders like to throw. So when it comes to balance, that's why I'm leaning more for the Chargers to win this game.
yeah. Go
Fair enough.
Chargers.
Let's go Charge. Ha ha! The Cowboys versus the Browns.
This is
Your home
intriguing.
state. Let's up. What's up? What's up?
I guess you want to call it my home state because I live here
Hey,
now.
you're in Waco Wacko over there. So let's go. Who
We
you
ain't.
got in this game?
I think we're gonna be different on this one.
Okay. Look. I already I know. You want me to go? No, you go first.
I'm going with the Cowboys on this one.
Shit. I'm glad we're different. I
I
got the
told you.
Cleveland
I
Browns,
know you
baby.
do. I know you
Yeah.
do. I know you do. I knew it. I know.
Yeah. Well, what's your reason for the Cowboys?
Look, I got nothing against the Cleveland Browns. I mean, trust me, I'm hearing it on the other end over here myself. I heard that big old what?
Hector got an audience back there
For
in
real.
his office over there.
Oh my
I mean,
lord.
shot heard around the world.
I'm telling you, what once I said that, boy, it's like the shot heard around the world. For real. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, but go ahead, man. Go ahead.
I don't know. I just think the Cowboys are they're still an offensive explosive team. I mean, Dak Prescott could be confusing at times, but look, you give him time in the pocket, he's going to get that ball to where he needs to get it to. I just think Cleveland was just to me a big fluke last year. I think they just got lucky. They got hot at the right time, but
He got lucky.
yeah, I think
Bro,
they did.
the Cleveland Browns got all kinds of talent in that team,
They
and all you can say is they got lucky.
to me they
Are
got
you
lucky.
serious right
That
now?
that me I yeah,
You
I
are
think so.
not seeing the right football as I'm seeing when it comes to this. I'm sorry.
But now with the
You know
Cleveland
what?
Browns.
You want to know what's lucky is that Elliott returns back to the Cowboys. Now that's some straight up luck on his end because his talent went out the window a long time ago.
Well,
He
yeah, I
couldn't
mean,
do crap for the New England Patriots. Okay, there was something that Bill Belichick was like, man, I don't even know why we got this guy. We thought we had something. I barely even played this fool because he wasn't that great in practice. Okay. Then you got Prescott, who still is wanting a contract. Now, the last time that Dak Prescott was in his window of his contract, he got a broken ankle. I'm serious. I am
emphasize the broken
serious.
part. Yeah.
And everyone was like, yo, pay the man, pay the man. What has he done for the Cowboys except choke in the playoffs? Okay. And don't even base it on last year's season. Every playoff game that Dak Prescott has done, it was not even close to how he is in the regular season. Okay. I'm sorry, man. This is the last year that Dak Prescott be a Cowboy in a
You
Cowboy
think so?
uniform.
I don't
I
see
don't
where
look.
I don't see where
If
they're
he
gonna go.
if he stays with the Cowboys, he's just gonna be considered a quarterback like Dan Marino. Even though he's not Dan Marino,
No, I was gonna
he'll
say he's
never
not
win a
Denver.
game. he will never win a Super Bowl. Let him know he can't even get to the Super Bowl. At least Dan Marino went to the Super Bowl. Okay. They haven't gone anywhere. Prove me wrong this year. However, you want to talk about getting paid and everything else. He cannot be the highest paid quarterback. Matter of fact, the only person that should be the highest paid quarterback is Mahomes. No one else should be him. I'm sorry. You're not even that caliber in the first place. And if he throws over 46 passes, he's going to choke. Don't rely on him at just that. And if you brought Elliott back for the run game, well, that was the worst because there are plenty of talent in the running backs, and you went ahead and get an old timer. Okay. CeeDee Lamb is the best wide receiver in that team. Yeah, he just got paid. He got a new contract. He'll be back. He's going to be rusty going in this game because now he just joined the Cowboys for practice. Okay. Yeah, I know. He got speed. He got everything. It's going to be natural. Okay. But it's not natural when you're throwing the ball and you're trying to connect. Okay. That's the difference. Let's look at the Browns. You got Watson. I know he's a mediocre. He's not even owning up to $240 million that he was getting paid. Nick Chubb is out for this, probably for the season, or he might come back towards the end of the season. But you got Jermaine Ford and Dante Foreman, two running backs that are very talented. But then you got Cooper. You got Judy. Remember him from the Denver Broncos? You got Elijah Moore. Like, you got a lot of weapons there, okay? And we're not even talking about the secondary of the Cowboys. Yeah, they got talent, but their front four, it's better. But that middle area and that linebacker is questionable for the Dallas Cowboys. I think they're both even at this, but being that it's at Cleveland and it's not in Dallas, I'm taking the Cleveland Browns.
Well,
I said a lot for probably that had a lot nothing of my point. But the Browns, man, like, come on. Like, I just don't know. Yeah, it's week one. It's a must win, really, for the Dallas Cowboys, just like how it is for the Eagles when it comes to the NFC East. However, the Browns, like, they have it. It's time to at least respect the NFC North because all four teams are that good.
I mean, yeah, you can respect the division. I mean, everybody can have a winning record, but only one can win that division. One. So
you're right. You're absolutely right. And I picked the Bengals to win it. But
yeah,
on the other hand, the Browns could be a wild card team.
Possible.
Very possible. However, what is not possible is these two teams here. The Washington Commanders visiting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I mean, they probably have to win their division to get in. It's harder for the Commanders knowing that the NFC East is stacked with just the Cowboys and the Eagles. They got a brand new quarterback. Listen, there's a lot, but I'm going for experience. The Commanders are all new coaching staff, new this, new that. They're trying to get to the right direction. But at this point, I think it's more of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers really doing it. They're comfortable in week one. Let's just leave it like that.
Yeah, I think Washington will be very competitive, though. I mean, they got, like you said, they got, new offensive and defensive coordinator. So I'm just wondering how that's going to mix well with this team right now. And so I'm going to go on a limb. I'm going to go with the Washington Commanders on this one. Ooh. I just think, I'm curious to see how both these coaches are going to, flex their side of the ball against Tampa Bay. And so, this
Fair
is going to
enough.
be, I think it's going to be one of those road games that I'm just hoping it can go in my favor here.
All right. Let's go ahead and move on to the Rams versus the Lions. Last year, a big story in the playoffs with these two teams going at it. Both these teams had a switch quarterbacks, and yet the Rams had the advantage because they won the Super Bowl. The Lions, on the other hand, they fell short last year, and they're trying to get their redemption and going back, and this time trying to win it all. I'm going for Detroit on this. I'm liking this team. I'm liking the fire. I hope it didn't die out. I really don't. but I just like Jared Goff there. They got David Montgomery as the running back. These guys are all back. Like this offense, I'm just curious that the defense, can they hang in there? Can they finish the game?
Yeah.
Not have a lead and then other teams come closely and then we're scrapping. We're trying to find ways to win within 2 minutes left of the game. I am wondering if the Lions have the formula to no shit. Here we are. We got this game locked, and let's move on to the next. I'm hoping that that's what it is for the Lions.
I hope so too. We'll see what happens. I mean, if we get a little, I mean, hopefully we get something out of Aiden Hutchinson, get a little more oomph out of him. So
Mm.
this year than we have seen. But no, I think the golf will outshine Matthew Stafford in this one. I mean, it seems like this has become a unofficial rival. You want to say between these two
Ah,
teams?
I mean, they both give each other props, anyways,
Yeah,
and I love the way it ended last season when they were trying to like, "Hey, golf, this is your time," which was not. So
yeah,
maybe this is his time. We'll
yeah,
see. Either way, it's always good to see the Lions each at least win a playoff game, which
yeah.
we hadn't seen at all. But you're right. But you are going for the Detroit Lions.
Yes, I got the Lions.
All
Yeah.
right, fair enough. All right, Monday Night Football. First time that we only get one game for the Monday Night Football game. Um, Maybe that's not so much next week, but we'll worry about that next week later on. But this is the New York Jets visiting the San Francisco 49ers.
Do we have
Ali,
an o-
go ahead. Huh?
do we have an over under on how many plays it's going to take for Aaron Rodgers to go down? I'm just asking.
What was it? A couple of plays and he
I
was
think it
out
was.
for the Jets.
I want to say it was like 4 plays at the
4 plays,
most.
something like that.
I might have
Nah,
been
he'll.
over exaggerating. Might
I
have been
think
two.
he'll be all right, man. I really do. Um, Age is a factor, and
Ah,
not
no, no, no,
everybody
no.
could be Tom Brady. I'm
I
just
was gonna
saying.
say you can't. Yeah, you can't put
Yeah,
age in it because Tom Brady's
no,
like 700
no,
years old and
but
still
Tom
plays like
Brady is
a.
Tom Brady. That's why everybody thinks like, oh, this is the new era now, whatever. Listen, Tom Brady did Tom Brady, and he's been doing it for a long time, right? And Aaron Rodgers is a different guy. Like he's all about himself. He's not for the team. That's a difference.
Yeah, he
Okay.
is selfish.
He's not leading teams. If he was, he still would have been a Packer. If he was a legit leader, he would have kept all his players, but the players in Green Bay left.
Yeah,
Okay. And you're talking about somebody that he was a scammer. He's like a scammer, right? Pay me this money and I'll take your team somewhere.
yeah.
4 plays, you was out. Okay.
Hmm.
And the coaching staff in the New York Jets are not great. They should be fired. Okay. And adding Aaron Rodgers, listen, I'm sorry, but I just don't see it. I really don't. Like, it's what if he's a difference maker? Okay. All right, whatever. But this is not the Jets. And don't even say that they're going to the Super Bowl because they're not. Stop. 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 No, no, no. Then you're going against a team that are expected to go to the Super Bowl,
Again.
right?
Hmm.
But the Jets could probably win this game. It's only week one. And that's the thing is I'm not gonna gloat or celebrate a week one victory because I'm just the type of guy wait for week 5 to see, okay, how well are they doing right now?
Yeah,
For all I care, the Jets win the first game and then they lose the rest of the game.
it's
And
happened
now we're
before.
talking about Carson Beck replacing Aaron Rodgers if they're the number 1 pick.
Yeah,
That's exactly what's gonna happen.
right.
So I'm sorry. I'm going for San Francisco on this one. I'm a Brock Purdy fan. I love this organization. Their defense are great. Their offense might be a little slow. I know they took time to be signing people onto the team and everything else with this contract disputes, but San Francisco has got to win this game.
I think so. I think I just feel like the 49ers are more stable, with the firepower on offense, so I don't see what part of the Jets defense can stop this 49ers offense going into this week one, and Rodgers I think is going to have more of a struggle on offense trying to find players, to be open than what Brock Purdy's going to have. Brock Purdy's got plenty of weapons he can choose from. He got different plan A, plan B, plan C. What does Aaron Rodgers got? You know, He ain't gonna run the ball because he's gonna tear that Achilles again. So I'm just
Ooh boy, that's all I gotta say. Ooh wee.
ooh
Ooh
wee.
wee.
Give me the
Yeah.
49ers.
Yeah.